Hey there. So nice to see you could make it.
What does that mean?
I interviewed Claire and you were nowhere to be found.
Yeah, no, that's true. I hated to miss that. I love Claire, but I had to work my other job. There was really no way around it.
Well, honestly, we didn't have a spot for you anyway.
Nice. You're not wrong, though. We keep talking about how we're going to upgrade our setup so we can have more people on screen at the same time, and we're just not there yet.
Yes, we are going to figure that out.
We are. And you know what else we're going to do? We are going to go back to having show and tell next time.
Yes, we went to the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. We had a great trip, and I can't wait to share some of the beautiful things that we saw with you in terms of pictures, and then also to talk about some of the really fun things we did. It was a great trip.
Yeah. I think for this episode though, we should just jump right into our my interview with Claire.
I agree. Claire Johnson is the age of our daughters, and we have known her and her family for over 2 decades,
That is so hard to believe.
right?
She was pretty young when our families met and started
Yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah, but now she's living and working in another country halfway around the world. I am really glad, though, that you were able to get a little bit of her time on this recent visit home back to America.
I know.
And
There really are some great stories in this interview.
that I know it. That's awesome. Well, without any further ado, here is our interview with Claire Johnson.
Let's do this. All right. Welcome back to the David and Hillary show. Today we have special guest Claire Johnson with us. And not gonna lie, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty. That's all right. We're gonna power through it
Yes.
and just go for it.
Yeah.
Claire, how long do you think we have known each other?
Hmm. A long time.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
long time. I'm gonna say I think our earliest memory is from 2004. That's when we moved here.
2004. Okay.
So 21 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was born. I'm only 21 years old.
Oh,
I
how
can't
could that be
be.
possible? I don't even know. We were walking across the parking lot at New Hope Academy
Okay.
after Wednesday night, and you called out and said to our daughter, you're like, David said, you said, "There's my girl Kate," and we just
Oh,
moved here, and so you had already kind of
so
made
lovely.
friends,
Yeah.
and it just was so nice, especially when you move to a new place, to have someone like want to be your friend. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
And our families did line up really well.
Yeah. They did.
You had three kids at the time. We had four that were living here with us, and so the three youngest, like, you guys lined up perfectly.
Yeah.
And really, for 21 years, in some shape, we've been friends for that
Yeah.
long, two
Yeah.
decades. It's been incredible.
Yeah. It's been
So
amazing.
yeah, we're really thankful. We are thankful for the Johnsons. Sometimes I mash our names together and I call us the McJohnsons.
I've never heard that. The Victor. I like
Yeah.
it.
And then when you put the Johnsons in, it's like the McJohnsons.
Oh, I was gonna say
Yeah.
McJohn Johnson's.
McJohn Johnsons.
McJohn Johnson's.
It's like
It sounded better in my head,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
say it.
It's like our rapper name. I don't know.
Okay.
But we have known each other a long time.
Yeah.
And I've got to watch you grow up. It's been super fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, so what I was hoping, since you are home visiting for a little bit, I just really wanted to just kind of have you come in and talk about just a little bit about your life. I really admire the things that you've done. And I mean, it's probably because you're homeschooled. You guys are super cool.
Yeah, homeschoolers are the best.
Do you want to say anything about that?
That I'm very grateful, thankful to my parents for
Mm-hmm.
investing in us like that. It enabled me to be able to do a lot of things, like even during school years, and then prepared me well for managing life after school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I always loved when we would hang out with your family just because you were a homeschool family. So your actual house, when we would step into it, was like stepping into your classroom.
Yeah.
And I loved just to see the things you were learning and the projects you were doing. I always came away really inspired by what you
Oh.
were accomplishing. It was great.
Yeah.
So, in fact, one of my greatest compliments is sometimes people that knew both of our families, they would say about our family, they're like, "Oh, you homeschool, right?" And I was like, oh, "No, but thank you so much that
But I feel
you
like,
think that we're homeschooled. Thank
yeah,
you."
I feel like I always thought of you guys as a homeschool family too, because you were so like family together,
Mm-hmm.
communal, like,
Yeah.
which kind of can be like more of a stereotypically homeschool thing.
Right. Well,
Mm.
thank you. Family was super important to us, and for sure we tried to be really involved.
Yeah,
And so whatever our kids were doing, we did try to jump in and just keep in touch with what they were doing.
that's great. Yeah.
So, but I think that's great. I loved it. And then, so after you graduated from college, where did your adventures take you?
Oh my. Well, even before, can I say before I graduated from college?
Absolutely, yes.
You want me to just tell the whole story or you want to ask?
I want you to say whatever you want to say.
Okay.
I might not know the right questions to ask.
So the story, like to after college begins before college. My church here that I was going to during high school,
Mhm.
they have a ministry with orphans in Moldova.
Okay.
A lot of you probably don't know where Moldova is. It's okay. You can look it up on a map. It's in Eastern Europe. Um, and I went on short-term mission trips with them. And so we would work with orphans and kids in the villages and stuff. And I started learning Romanian
Wow.
because I wanted to speak with my friends there because Moldovans, they speak Romanian and Russian generally.
Okay.
But, oh, I really hope I'm right on this. Romanian is the official language in Moldova, but most of them are bilingual at least. Um, and then, yeah, so I started learning Romanian to be able to speak with them, and I started studying like anything I could about Moldova during college. And then the college I went to, they require us to study abroad
Right.
for at least a small amount of time to see that like their cultures outside of the US and just not everybody thinks the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So obviously I chose Moldova to do my study abroad, but my study abroad was in 2020.
Oh,
So
wow.
I
Yeah.
left January 2020. The plan was to be in Moldova like 3 months and then visit Romania because I had never been to Romania,
Okay.
which is neighboring with Moldova, and I obviously knew that they also speak Romanian. So I was like, I'll visit there. My granddad had some friends there. He was like, you should definitely meet with them while you're there. So I did. They were teaching English to Romanian students, and that's what I studied at my university was
Okay.
teaching English to speakers of other languages.
Yes.
So they were teaching them English and they were having all these great deep conversations with college students about life. And I was like, this is what I want to do. Like,
Very
so
cool.
that study abroad was my junior year of college. So I asked them like if I can I come back here and work
Mm-hmm.
with you guys like full time after college? And they said yes for sure. So also like it was 2020. So I was in Romania doing this English stuff in March 2020.
Okay.
And then everything shut down
Right.
around me.
Wow.
So I like to say I really think I had like the best COVID experience at the beginning because it was like I didn't want to leave and then I literally couldn't leave. Like eventually the airport closed.
So you
So
were happy with getting stuck there.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
I stayed. I ended up staying 4.5 months, which I didn't have a visa for staying that long. But
Wow.
because the president declared state of emergency, I could stay however long, like during the state of emergency,
Okay.
because you couldn't leave. Like,
Right. Right. I mean, where
um,
would you go?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there were no flights. I don't know if maybe somebody could have driven, but I wasn't interested anyway. I was fine to stay, so I did, and I got more of a cultural experience of what it would be like to live in Romania, so I was more prepared. So yeah, so then
Yeah.
I finished my senior year of college and I prepared to move to Romania, and I did like a year later.
That is so great. I
Yeah.
I just think, and David and I've talked about this a few times. So obviously, I'm one generation ahead of you, and you know, air I think I looked up the date for like the invention of the airplane, but it's been a little over 100 years
Oh
that
wow.
that we've been able to fly.
Wow.
But really, I just feel like, especially with your generation, something, and maybe it's with the internet also,
Mhm.
because again, like we grew up, if you wanted to know something, you had to go get an encyclopedia, right? Open a big clunky book and then find it and then read about it, and it feels like the world is kind of opened up incredibly, especially even
Yes.
like mentally,
Yes.
for your generation to think, oh, I think I'll just go live in another country.
Yeah.
That was something I can say for me and my friends. If somebody left where I grew up in Michigan and lived in California, everybody's like, whoa, did you know they live
Yeah.
across the whole country? Like they went on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now it's like the whole world is open.
Yeah.
And I feel like the mental barriers to travel are just gone. Do
Yeah.
you think do you recognize that at all?
I definitely noticed that, especially with Americans. Unfortunately, for a lot of my international friends, they don't have that luxury of the
Mm-hmm.
world being open to them. And I'll
Sure.
forget and be like, "Oh my gosh, you guys, we should go to Egypt." And like my Nigerian friends are like, "Claire, we need a visa for that." And different people are trying, different friends from different countries are trying to Google like, "Can we enter Egypt?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry,
Wow.
I technically I need Americans need a visa as well,
Mm-hmm.
but it's literally like." You arrive there, you apply at the airport, like when you arrive, and you
Okay.
get it right then. So
Wow.
um,
So for other countries, it is not as easy as it is for you.
yeah, for sure. But
Okay.
usually, I mean, like, especially if you want to travel Europe, um, it's pretty easy for Americans, and there are a lot of other countries where either you don't need a visa or you need one that's pretty easy to get. So, yeah, the world has opened up a lot, and all the affordable flights, and
Yes.
especially once you get into Europe, there is a time that I went to Greece, and it was $30 round trip.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
my US friends have been telling me, like, it costs more than that to fly, like, from one state to the other.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't get to Florida for that, you know.
yeah.
Yeah. That's very, very cool. So now you are in Romania,
Hmm.
and what is your job now?
Yeah, so now I work with international students.
Okay.
So as I mentioned, originally I came working with Romanian students, and then after like 2-ish years, um, it was a lot to adjust to the culture and the country and everything, and I started noticing that there were a lot of international students. There's a medical school in my city that brings a lot of international students, and I was like, I feel like we could do something to help them because I work with a nonprofit. So I
Okay.
was asking them like, can we see if there are ways that we could help the international student population? So then we did a needs survey of like what would help international students
Yeah.
students to thrive outside of the med school,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody said English lessons, and I was like, but that's my degree. Because they, if they're coming, they already know English. Like they're
Okay.
traveling internationally, they generally already know it.
Got
But
it.
almost everybody said that they would love Romanian lessons.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I taught myself Romanian. My team leaders are Romanian, so they teach the intermediate advanced. I don't teach intermediate advanced Romanian.
Okay.
I help the beginners. But it's really easy for me to know how to help them to learn the basics because I remember
Yes.
teaching myself the basics. So
Yes. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep. No, I love that. So, wow. So you are teaching Romanian to people coming to Romania.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
it's
Did you
fun.
ever think that that's how it would kind of change?
No. I didn't think I was gonna like live internationally. It all just kind of like step by step fell into place.
Right.
So yeah.
No, that's really great. Well, one of the things I just thought would be really fun since you are home on a trip, I've done a little international travel,
Mhm.
but honestly, it was with a group. It was my husband and myself and his parents. So there was safety in the numbers.
Mhm.
And then when we got where we were going, we were on a pre-planned tour.
Okay. Mhm.
And so, baby stepping all the way. Somebody just told me where to go, what to do. I didn't really have to make my own way,
Yeah.
which I'm going to just say horrifies me. That That just sounds really scary, but you do this all the time.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to pick your brain as an international traveler and to just ask you, like, how your first trip. What was
What's first?
your first international travel trip?
Wow. Okay. First trip. I think I was like 15. I went to Moldova with my church to help in this Moldovan village. So obviously my first trip was with a team. That was a horrible first experience, especially at least at the beginning, because I had flown a lot like what's it called, interstate travel or whatever,
Right,
not
right.
like not internationally.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like short little
international,
flights, maybe to
yeah,
grandpa's house or something like that.
yeah, international flights, they obviously go higher up into the atmosphere
Mm-hmm.
and for much longer. And I had a cold
Uh,
the day that we flew, and I didn't know that like it's very bad
yeah.
if you have a stuffy nose
Mm-hmm.
and you fly. It fills your ears, like especially takeoff and landing when the pressure is changing so much.
Yes.
It feels like somebody's like driving a nail into
Mm-hmm.
your skull, and it was so much pain. And then also like once I got to Moldova, my ears didn't clear for 3 days,
Wow.
and like you're already jet lagged because it's like a whole new day already, even though no
Mm-hmm.
matter, you just lose so much time. And then I couldn't like really hear very well, so I didn't really feel like I was in reality the
Wow.
first 2 days. It wasn't until the end of the week that I started feeling better, my ears cleared up and stuff, and I felt like I could actually
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the week.
Have you learned any like tips or tricks that kind of help with that?
Yeah, there's like nasal sprays, um, like that can help you. You guys know, I think, what I'm talking about. The ones that'll help clear your nose, even if you can just clear it temporarily.
Like a decongestant
Especially,
or
yes,
antihistamine kind of
yeah.
thing? Yeah.
But like the sprays, it'll help like just clear it up, especially like takeoff and landing.
Okay.
There's also, I haven't tried these, and I'm not sponsored by them, obviously, but
There are no sponsors.
but I've heard of these like earplugs that are corkscrews,
Okay.
and so you're supposed to like screw them into your ear, and then it helps release the fluid buildup. I've
Okay.
never tried them, but if I if I had to travel again sick, I would probably
Think about
prefer
it.
to try
Mm-hmm.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
than how it is otherwise.
I fell asleep when we were coming back. I was so exhausted that I fell asleep on the way into Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, it was horrible because I wasn't popping my ears as we were descending,
Uh,
and I don't know if I've ever felt so much pain in my head because I just woke up and like you said, my ears wouldn't pop on their own. I've never had such a bad
yeah.
experience as that. So now I never sleep
Chew
during.
gum,
Yeah.
try to yawn. For me, though, I got into my head because I knew that yawning fully would help pop my ears, so I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't yawn fully. So for 2 days, I'm just walking around like,
Oh
but my
no.
mouth is never like, I've never got a full yawn.
Oh, that
But
sounds awful.
yeah.
What about your first solo trip?
First solo
When
trip.
was that?
I guess it would have been for the study abroad.
Right, because you
Yeah.
didn't go with a group.
Yeah. So,
Sometimes I know for that same program, one of our kids did that, but they went with a group with a
yes.
team leader.
Yeah, faculty led. Yeah.
Right, and you didn't have that. You
Yeah.
were just on
Yeah,
your
I
own.
did. No faculty was leading a trip to Moldova, so they should maybe start planning one. But beware, because when you go to Moldova, people fall in love with it. Everybody
Mm,
wants to when they go. Um, so I went to Moldova on my own in 2020. I'd already gone like 4 times,
okay.
so I was pretty familiar with, I don't know, with airports, with flying, um, with being in a country where you don't know the language. Like always making sure I have a SIM card,
Okay.
especially the solo travel. I always make sure that I either have like some sort of eSIM or something before I arrive that I know is going to work. Now at this point, my phone plan, it works in all of the EU countries. So as soon as I
Okay.
switch countries, it just switches for me, which is really nice. But like Egypt, I know that like as soon as I arrive, I'm buying a SIM card in the airport. Some of my Egyptian friends are like, it's more expensive there, but I'm like, I need service as soon as I arrive. So if I
Right.
need to translate something, if I need to order an Uber,
Right,
I've
right.
got it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. How would you even function without your phone?
People have in times
I
past.
mean, but the way that everything is set up now, in
Yeah.
times past you just go out and hail a taxi.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do that now. You need to
You
be
don't
able
want to
to,
hail an Egyptian
yeah.
taxi. No, no,
You
it's
want
a
to have a
big.
little more control
Yeah,
in that. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's worth it. So were there any, I mean, was it smooth sailing that first
It
trip?
was. I feel like all the flights were fine. I arrived. I had arranged for a friend to pick me up from the airport. I had an Airbnb for the first night, um, and so he took me there. I didn't arrange where to stay for the whole trip. I felt like the Lord
Mm-hmm.
wanted to take care of that. And so as I was flying there, I had a friend email me that I could stay with them while I
Okay.
was in Moldova. It's a longer story, but yeah.
That's
Um,
cool.
so yeah, and then it's always good to have like a friend in every country.
Oh
I
yeah.
like to, if I don't know somebody, which usually I'm traveling somewhere where I know somebody, and that's why I'm going there. So
Okay.
usually I'm meeting somebody. But if I'm not, then I like to use a Host a Sister, which is a Facebook page only for females, um, only for women, and just anyone around the world can post like, "Hey, I live in, Berlin or whatever. I'm happy to host any girls who come through." So like my first time in Egypt, I didn't know I was going to see a male friend, but obviously I wasn't going to stay with him.
Right. Right.
So I found on Host a Sister this one lady, and because it's Facebook, you can look and you can see like has she hosted other people, have they posted about her. You can look at her page, like see if
Check
it's
out
a,
all the
a real
reviews.
person. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so she had hosted a lot of people who had
And
posted.
And just to be clear, because first I thought you said host assistant, but
Oh,
it's host a sister.
yes, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
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 that's
host
really
a
neat.
sister.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah. My first reaction was, oh, it's scary. Like, how do you know you can trust that?
yeah,
But I suppose it's like an Airbnb. Also, once you read all the reviews and if you trust the site, yeah,
yeah. Yeah, some people are more risky and they will stay with somebody who's just posted but they don't have anything. I only stay with somebody if I can see multiple other people with obviously genuine accounts have posted like that
mm-hmm.
they've stayed with her and stuff. So this lady, like she's hosted I don't know, like 50 people on Host a Sister. She's always hosting. So I reached out to her. And then it's nice because not only do you have a free place to stay, but you have a local that you can go around with. You can ask like, how do I take public transportation?
Yeah.
What should I be aware of? They can tell you the areas that are safer to
And
be
was
in and
that
not.
free? Was that she
Yeah,
hosted you for free?
yeah.
Wow.
Generally, I shouldn't. I should say like you're not supposed to treat it as like a free Airbnb. Like
Mm-hmm.
you offer something as well in like company or like some people will be like, I'm a professional chef. If you have me, also you show you how to cook. Food from my culture, whatever.
Okay.
Like it's kind of like a cultural exchange.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
That's neat.
yeah,
Yeah. That is really neat. I've never heard of that before.
yeah.
So,
It's great.
yeah.
I feel like they've made a website now, and I'm so old fashioned. I've never figured out the website. Did the
No, it's all good.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, no.
I'm scared of the technology not
I know,
working
right?
out.
We've had a rough morning, people.
Yeah.
No, that actually is an okay sound.
Okay, good.
What about worst travel mistake?
Oh, worst travel mistake. Probably in Egypt. Um, I I traveled a lot in Europe, but obviously Egypt is gonna be different.
Sure.
I'd gotten used to like the normal things I need to check up on. What's the outlet type? That's a big one. You
Yep.
always want to
Yep.
make sure you have
So
the
you're not
right
blowing up your
adapter.
appliances.
Yeah. And how do I get a SIM card and stuff? But I just kind of assumed because I arrived in Cairo and I was like, okay, it's a big city. Like, I'm gonna be able to find a place to eat along the way to like the first thing I was gonna see my first
Yeah.
day. But and then I also wanted to take public transportation because that's also how I can afford to travel. Is I'm not taking Ubers
Okay.
everywhere. So
And do you
my
do you feel safe when you do that?
yeah,
Yeah.
and once again, that's where it's helpful if I'm staying with a local.
Yes.
Like they're usually good at being like, oh no, like I wouldn't feel safe with you going this way or that way, or whatever. So, but she put me on a bus. She talked to the bus driver, told him where I wanted to go, and she was like, he says you're like his daughter now, and he's gonna make sure you get there. Like
Aw.
Egyptians are just wonderful. Like they sometimes they annoy me. They took care of me so much, and I'm like, just let me be independent. I've traveled before.
I'm an international traveler.
Yeah, so I turned down breakfast with her that morning, and I was thinking I'll get something along the way. But
Okay.
then as I was going there on the bus, I was like, okay, well now I can't get off to grab something along the way because this is the bus driver she talked to. He's
Right.
the one who's getting me
Right.
where I need to go. So then it was like, okay, hopefully when I arrive there, there will be a place to grab a snack. Well, I was going to the Citadel, which is this amazing place. If you go to Egypt, you should go to the Citadel for sure. But it doesn't have any food around it or something. Like you just as you walk up to the entrance, there's one guy with like his stand, and you know that he knows that we're needy tourists.
Yes,
I
yes.
obviously don't speak Arabic, so he was very friendly. But I will not disclose the amount that I paid to get two Snickers bars and two water bottles.
Will you tell me when we're not filming?
Yes.
Okay.
It makes a lot of my Egyptian friends get angry about it. They're like, "Oh, that's so disrespectful. He ripped you off." I'm like,
Oh,
I mean, you gotta make your money, I guess.
yeah. Well,
And
and maybe at the time it was worth it if you were that hungry.
I know I'm like I've learned now for sure. I'm like anytime I travel, I need to have energy bars at all times.
Okay.
Especially because when I'm traveling
Yeah.
internationally, I can't handle being hungry anymore. Like as soon as I get hungry, my brain like bottom I'm like I can't think anymore. I think just because it takes so much energy
Mm-hmm.
to constantly be aware that like you're in a foreign country,
Yes.
everybody around you is different, the culture is
Yes.
different, transportation is different. Also, I haven't eaten.
Right,
It
right.
just shut down.
And I would think too, especially if you're traveling solo.
Yeah,
If you're traveling solo, there's nobody there kind of like, hey, we should eat.
yeah,
Because sometimes
that's
I'll
true.
get so zoned in, I won't know I'm hungry until it's too late.
Yeah,
And so it is good to have someone else there kind of thinking the other thoughts for you. Like,
that's true.
hey, we should think about food. We should make sure we've got this or this. And yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good tip.
There was one time I was in that trip was in February, but one time I was in Cairo in June, and it was a heat wave. I'm trying to think. In Fahrenheit, it was more than 100 degrees for
Yeah.
sure, and I wasn't thinking to drink water, but I was with
Mhm.
Egyptian friends all the time, and like every 10 minutes they're buying a water bottle and handing it to me, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to drink water.
Mm.
So
Yep.
probably wouldn't have been good otherwise, but I was taken care of.
I'm so glad you had good friends.
Me too. That was fun.
What about do you have any like funniest moments?
Hmm. I have a funny language moment.
Yeah.
And I love like telling this joke. When I tell it to Americans, they don't laugh till the end, but when I tell it to Romanians, they laugh halfway through because they understand my mistake. So I did I tell you about coconut milk?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, so I wanted to buy coconut milk one time in Romania, and I went to the grocery store. I asked the lady working there. I was like, "Bună ziua," which means good day. You know, I was like, "Nu vă supărați," which I'd learned that because one time I just asked like a worker at a store. I was with a Moldovan friend, and I asked them in Romanian, you know, where are the cucumbers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend afterwards was like, "Oh, Claire, you were so rude." I was like, "Why was I
Oh.
rude?" She was like, "You didn't say nu vă supărați," which means like, "Please don't get upset." Like,
Okay.
so
You have to say, please don't get upset. I'm going to ask you where something is.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right. I'm going to try this
yeah.
at Publix when I go get groceries.
I know, so I had to learn. I guess sometimes I feel like sometimes we say "excuse me" here at least. So
Okay,
maybe it's like
exactly.
"excuse me,"
Yeah.
pardon me.
Mhm.
But yeah, but you literally say "nu vă supărați." So I was like, okay, I'm a great, you know, I'm ready to be Romanian.
Yes, I'm going to be polite.
Yeah.
No more offending the cucumber lady.
Yeah. So bună ziua, nu vă supărați. Unde este lapte de cocoș? And this is where the Romanian friends laugh. But yeah, but I didn't, you know, as far as I knew, I said very politely, "Good day. Sorry to bother. Please don't get upset. You know, where's the coconut milk?" And the worker was like, "Lapte de cocoș." And I was like, "What's wrong with this lady? Like, why is she gotta be rude?" But I was trying to be. I was like, "Okay, remember, like, we gotta use all of our problem solving skills.
Yes.
Like, maybe they don't have coconut milk in Romania, like, so it can, you know, it could be an American thing. Like, maybe they
Mhm.
just have cow
Sure.
milk,
Sure.
like normal people or something." So I was like, okay, like maybe I could say nut milk. So I was like, lapte de nuci. she like thought for a minute, and then she was like, oh, lapte de cocos. So I said lapte de cocos, which means rooster. So I was asking for rooster milk. Cocos is coconut. So then I was like, oh, okay. So she showed me where the coconut milk was, which they do have.
But
And
no
then,
rooster milk.
yeah, and
So
then
strange.
she was walking away, and I heard her under her breath, like, Lapti de Coco. Like, she went home and told her whole family. So, yeah.
That is very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a short time, my brother lived in Japan, and he had a moment similar where they went to kind of like a Home Depot, and they found this really cool outdoor lantern that they wanted to put up, and it just had some really cool designs on it and some letters, and so they put that out on their porch, and their neighbors, I think it was their neighbors, came over and they were like, yeah, I mean, I don't, it's fine if you want to put that out there, but it does say we sell octopus rice cakes, which they did not sell. So, false advertising. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But yeah, I always love that. Like, you just don't know. You don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're doing. But yeah. Well, Claire, this has been so, so, so fun. I just really appreciate your time being here, and so proud of all the things that you've done and just the amazing adventures that you go on. And I'm glad that you have been safe, and
Thank you.
I hope that you
Praise
will
God.
continue to be, safe in your travel. But it's really inspiring just to see, especially again, like your generation. You seem very limitless, and it's inspiring, and I really appreciate it. So. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Hopefully next week we're going to have some of our technology worked out, and David will be back. We'll have a regular episode of the David and Hillary Show. But for now, this has been Hillary and Claire, and we just thank you so much for joining us this week.
See ya.